Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Fata Morgana. Let's continue the story. It's about to meet. I'm about to meet with the Lord, or as I should call him, a new Lord, because apparently the old one been much worse, and this one is someone entirely else. So I'm very curious if the Fury from the previous episode actually is going to happen. If so, then why he treated Morgana like this, even though it seems like he cared about her? What happened? Well, time to learn. Okay, there we are. Again, because you had something important to discuss. Now, care to tell me who the hell this white-haired man is and what he's doing here? You neglected to mention you will be having company. I'm the one who asked him to arrange this meeting with you. And who the hell would you be? He's an angel. Or a prophet. What? Did you all finally snap under the pressure? I will leave it for you to decide what you think I am. I will say, though, that I know everything. I know you've got a girl imprisoned in the observation tower, and I know you are taking her blood and calling it medicine, passing it out to the church. Which one of you squealed? No one told him anything. He just knew. He knows everything, including my deepest desires, and what happens in my next life. He's probably peering into your soul this very moment. You completely lost it, I see. Well, how you got your information doesn't matter. All I need to know is this. What are you hoping to gain from it? Wealth? My downfall? What? Morgana's freedom. I want you to give me your key. And then I want you to tell me your story. I've come here from the future, from the world after Morgana's death. Her soul curses with hatred for the three of you. And she's placed a curse of eternal suffering on your souls. Has everyone at this damn table gone mad? Yep, that's typical conversation with the next basically in line that we are talking to. Everyone thinks we are crazy. Do you seriously think I would believe that nonsense? Don't interrupt me. My objective is not much to rescue Morgana's physical body from the tower, but to save her soul from the eternity of loathing. I can't achieve that on my own, however, because I'm not from this time. I have no direct interaction with her or anyone else here until recently. In order to make her have a change of heart, I need to gather the truth from people who are from this time. And I suspect that you hold the last piece of the puzzle. The biggest piece. That you have a far deeper connection with Morgana than anyone else here. No, I'm all but certain of it now. Your perspective is crucial to accomplishing my goal. Tell me your whole story, please. How you ended up capturing and imprisoning Morgana. What you fought and felt along the way. Your truth will get through to her, I know it. That will be the turning point in all of this. Her curse will be no more. And you will all be returned to the paths you were meant to walk. Everyone will have their salvation. Ah, someone throw this madman out. I won't do it. Neither will I. Damned worthless curse. Yeah. We are in majority here. I'll call the guards then. Who do you think I am exactly? I'm the lord of this land. Under the ordinary circumstances, I never so much as deign to speak with you, lowly peasant. Now get out of my sight. Or I will take it as the act of aggression, and you will find yourself without a head. In this room right now, you are not a lord. You are a lone man. Until you hand over your key, we are not letting you leave. And you will find there aren't any guards for you to call. You are all alone in this estate. Well, okay. We cooked the situation pretty well then. Your preoccupation with staying out of sight played right into our hands. I guess, yeah, makes sense, because he wants everything secret, so he doesn't even have guards around for this. Accept your defeat, Lord. We've already agreed to set the witch free. Cowardly worms. Ironic, coming from you. Huh. I didn't think you would turn coat quite so eagerly. The nun and your kid sister are in it too, I take it? We are only working for you. We never felt any sort of allegiance to you. Loyalty founded on what one has to gain or lose, is far more resilient and uncertain, fluctuating feelings. But it would appear this white-haired man shattered that foundation. Huh. How long have you been colluding with them, Kerr? I arrived in this era 2 days ago. What? 2 days? In just 2 days you got those worms dancing for you? They are not dancing for me. I merely spoke with them, and they listened. You're this tired man. You couldn't possibly have won those two over a mere 2 days. He's not ordinary man. And we've said he knew everything. While I was talking to him, it felt like he was looking directly into my soul. He's definitely an unusual one, yeah. Let's see how we are going to make JACOPO to talk, actually. It feels like he's known my whole life, even though he just showed up out of nowhere 2 days ago. I didn't believe what he was saying at first, but he knew things he couldn't possibly know. My secret wish, something I've never told anyone before. I don't know what kind of tricks you're playing, but now I know why I never seen you around. You would probably be lurking around the city for longer, sticking your nose where it didn't belong. I would have taken notice sooner or later. Huh, I'm impressed. In only 2 days, you managed to convince them both to betray me and set me up. I am indeed the one in charge of this operation, so if the witch you're after, an obvious target, yes. And the 2 dogs surely have some pent-up rage. So I take it you're going to tie me up, torture me, and I'll tell you what you want to know? That's not a bad idea. What do you say? Give me the word, and he's in ropes. Wait. We agreed we aren't getting rough. Yep. Yes, hold your horses. I have no interest in solving this problem with violence. We are here to uncover the truth. We needn't exchange blows, only words. Anyway, if we were going to beat it out of him, we would have done so as he walked through the door. We discussed this beforehand, we are only talking. No one's getting into any fights, physically or verbally. That's right. Well, looks like I've got no way out, so you got me. I surrender. Take my key. That's not all we need. Go open the tower doors. What? That was easier than expected. Yeah, but he still tells us nothing. It's like... he feels like just giving us a key is like less of the lose for him than just like telling us the truth. It's like... setting Morgana free is less important for him than like keeping a secret. Your key is not important right now. Your perspective is what I seek. Yeah. Why did you make it so the lock required 3 keys? That's also a good point. One person is more than adequate for the job. So why split in 3 ways? Is that any of your concern, Kerr? Was it because it was too much weight to bear alone? You didn't actually want to imprison Morgana, did you? Yeah... like, why would... if you were actually the slave, why would you actually imprison Morgana? What happened? I need to know. Is that actually a thing? Something somewhere went wrong. You backed yourself into a corner and couldn't escape. I'm done listening to you. Am I right or am I wrong, Lord? Or should I say, JACOPO? JACOPO? But isn't his name Jen Franz Bronier? JACOPO is like... I mean, like... actually, they all have the same names. Pauline was just like faking the name, so yeah. Now it makes sense. That Jean-Francis Barnier is like his like lord name, but his real name is Jacopo, the slave name, the original name of his. Wow. That's Lord Barnier to you, you insolent child. He seems to be a bit confused. I'm son of the house of Barnier, which means I'm royalty. No, you are not. I don't know how you came to start calling yourself Barnier, but there's not a drop of royal blood flowing through your veins. The slave revolt at the Lord Manor 7 years ago. You were there, weren't you? During the revolt, you helped Morgana escape. That's right, you saved her life once. That was you. You were the slave from 7 years ago. Slave? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Me, a slave? Like hell, a former slave could become royalty. You did it though. You went from slave to lord. Enough. I don't know who's filling that white-haired head of yours with that drivel, but I'm done listening to it. Say another word and I will throttle you myself. Keep slandering my name, I dare you. Maria told me the slave from back then was dead. She didn't mean it literally though. She meant he wasn't who he used to be anymore. Maria. You've been talking to her too? Because she was afraid if Morgana found out. If Morgana found out, it would only serve to throw her deeper into despair. Okay. The man who had once saved her was now responsible for keeping her imprisoned. Does your ears not work, Kerr? I said I've had enough. I need your perspective. There's more to the story. I'm certain of it. I refuse to believe you acted only for your own benefit, only to cause her pain. If you want the key so damn badly, then take it. Set the witch free, I don't give a damn. Yep, that's the point, Jacopo. We are not only after this. But if you say another word, I will rip your fucking tongue out. Again, the key is not what I need right now. I need your story. Are you deaf or just an imbecile? Your perspective is crucial to saving Morgana's soul. Enough. When you were a slave, you helped Morgana escape from the Lord. Silence. And you spent the next 3 years with her. Just one more fucking word, I swear to God. So, how did you end up here? How did the boy from 7 years ago go from saving her to locking her up and stealing her blood? There's no excusing your actions, no. But please, I need you to tell me how you got to this point. Enough! Michelle? Okay. He actually lashed at us. The next thing I see is a dagger in his hand pointed at me. Holy Jesus. Okay, good we have Yukimasa with sword here. I reflexively try to push myself out of the path of his charge with my dominant hand, which sends jolts of excruciating pain up my right arm. I will rip your fucking head off. The Lord swings his arm up, and the necklace spills from my pocket, making the metallic clink as it hits the floor. Okay, the thing that he was supposed to give her. When he sees it, his eyes go wide for the brief moment. Of course, I'm just slugshot at him. Okay. Whoa, what a... wow, the background changed. What the hell is going on? Why, how? Why I'm looking at familiar cloud of inky black darkness. So, this is not just my perspective, it's actually something happening. What? There's no one to answer my question though, and no time to think about it either. I have to make a decision right now. The Lord, dagger-raised, is quickly approaching. Off to the side, the cloud of darkness, it's expanding. Whoa! Whoa! This is his darkness probably. This is probably his darkness. Let's save it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to... because this everything like here is happening kinda in like metaverse. Kinda, right? Like and like our minds and everything. So shoving Lord aside wouldn't like do anything. I think I would reach into the darkness and grab whatever like he's hiding, because I think like this darkness that is like approaching as his darkness that comes from this necklace. So I will reach into the darkness. I reach my hand into darkness spreading from the necklace, and as soon as I do, what the hell is this? What's that black stuff? The blackness swells, consuming us all. Did I do actually do good choice or not? What is happening? No, what was it? Don't make me. Watch this. He shouts, fade into the distance. My mind and body are swallowed up entirely. It's the same thing that happens whenever Giselle and I open the door. The same darkness I've gazed into again and again. And again and again in that cursed mansion. We're opening a door! The house that exists outside reality. Far, far off into the distance, I can see gentle light, like the hole ripped out of the darkness. Green grass and colorful flowers rustling in the wind. I don't understand. The darkness. It was never present in the past. It was... I thought a phenomenon restricted to the realm of the dead. So what is this doing here? But even my questions are, in short order, swallowed up by the void. Soon my body ceased to retain its form, leaving only my consciousness to view the sights, sounds, and emotions of someone's past. I become an observer, as I have many times before. Okay. JACOPO definitely don't want to see whatever it is. Whatever the memory of the necklace is. Okay. Also, I will change my camera to be on the side, because we're not going to have probably anymore the sprite of like Michelle on the corner here, because this seems to be JACOPO thing. Some backstory. I'm staring into a pair of ruby red eyes, open wide with shock. Okay. I recall snapping at him, insulting him, but I don't remember what I said. Oh wait, this is like actually JACOPO perspective. He looks at Michelle. Nor do I remember how he responded. All I know is that a wave of churning blackness appeared out of nowhere. Magic. Black magic. Washing me away. I'm powerless, helpless, hopeless. My young mind sucked into it like a whirlpool. Young? My young mind? Oh, for Christ's sake. You've got to be kidding me. Why? For the love of God, why am I being made to look back at this part of my life? The miserable, stupid fucking romantic I once was. Why am I turning back into the body I tried so hard to forget? The boy, sorry. Why did this absurd black smoke come from? And why can't I get out of it? If that's the white-haired man who's doing this to me, then he's not an angel or a prophet. He's a goddamn devil himself. But all my questions, my confusion, my frustration, everything that composed my present, is superseded by the darkness, wisping away into nothing. Oh! Whoa! That was him and Morgana. Okay, let's go. So we're going to see from the very beginning, from since he's been a slave. So it seems like he fall in love in Morgana. And after some time he decided to actually imprison her. Is it like something like because like he's been like jealous or something? Did he like imprison her so like he can keep her like forever for himself or something? That's so like what the fuck? Okay, let's just read. Let's just read. To be blunt, the words a small place. There's an unimaginable amount of it out there, but only ever get to see a minuscule fraction of that. And that goes doubly so for us. The poor barely get the chance to see any of it at all. And those who are born into affluence, well, they have no idea just how small our world really is. I never yearned for the world outside what I knew. I more coveted it as splash of despite mixed in. I wanted to claw my way up the mountain, knock all the bastards down who had never seen what it was like at the bottom. If I made it high enough, I could do anything. I would have complete freedom. If that sounds like a childish fantasy to you, well, you'd be right. That's exactly what it was. There you are. You spent so much time in the graveyard, then that one of those days, someone's going to think you're a gravekeeper, or maybe a grave robber. I can understand a gravekeeper, but I take offense at the suggestion I look like a grave robber. I'm praying for the souls who have no one to see them off. The girl named Morgana turned around to face me. Though I know her for some time, I rarely even looked her in the eyes. Her face was almost always concealed beneath the dark hood, revealing only the tip of her nose, and sometimes her lips. Oh, this is actually... Ah, okay. Honestly, I don't get it. Why do you care so much? These are souls that have no one else to pray for them. At best, they may have got a bit of lip service from the priest once or twice. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor, to pray for the abandoned souls. What I don't get is, why you need to pray for the dead at all? Okay, like total different perspective view here from Morgana and JACOPO. They are just bags of bones. I hope you enjoy an eternity in hell, blasphemer. Hey, that was uncalled for. I'm just joking, obviously. You take black humor to a new level. Orna gave me a cool shrug, then turned away. She never faced anyone head-on for very long, and she had a perfectly good reason for it. It wasn't because she disliked me or anything. I don't think, anyway. About 3 years earlier, something had happened that had caused large patches of flesh to fall off her face. Supposedly, she had looked fine before then, but I only knew her as she was at the time. The rest of her body was covered in wounds as well, but applying ointment to them had reduced the scarring significantly. Wait, so this is not from 7 years ago, this is later. So this is after she got saved. I thought we were going to see his perspective from revolution time, basically. But no, this is later. This is after she got saved. So they spent some time after this. We never get to see this part of her story, I think. Her face, though, showed no signs of recovering. A close friend of mine, a prostitute, said she thought it might be a psychological thing. But regardless, I continued applying the ointment to Morgana's face. Hey, come on, don't turn away from me. I know you can hear me. I brought ointment, so let me put it on you. It's a waste of time. You don't know that. Your arms looks much better than before. It won't be long before your face starts healing too. The ointment isn't free. You're wasting your money. It's my money, I can use it however I please. So just shut up and let me do this. You're a very obnoxious man, you know? What was that? You want me to rub it in real hard, huh? Fine. Okay. Interesting they had that kind of relationship. He actually cared about her. So, this is kind of similar situation to the third door, right? Like the beginning of his meeting with white-haired girl when she felt like, and she said that she felt like JACOPO in the beginning actually loved her. Like he showed her like this moving images and stuff, like the first time when they went like for like date, like after marriage and stuff, right? Like she felt like in the beginning he was like loving her, and then something changed. He changed later. So this is similar. Maybe he got... Maybe it's something... Maybe something happened like with the first door. Maybe someone framed Morgana to him. Like told some lies about her, maybe. Huh. And since he's been in love with her, he's been easier to manipulate. Because the first door was like all about like manipulation. Maybe not all of it, because there's been a lot of like JACOPO fault. But he's been still manipulated a lot. And his personality just made it easy. So maybe like there was something like, you know, he fall in love with Morgana, and then someone told him that, hey, you know what, like she now lives in like brothel, and like she doesn't love you anymore, and like just like doing stuff with like other guys and stuff, you know. And he just like got crushed by this basically, and he decided to keep her locked, just like in the first door, to keep her away from everyone or something like that, something along these lines. We'll see. With a forlorn graveyard as their backdrop, a young man applied a salve to the girl's raw, exposed flesh. It was quite possibly the least romantic sight in the world. I would have, at the very least, preferred a somewhat more pleasant location. As the thought fluttered through my mind, I let out a deep laugh, and I could soon feel her glaring at me. Morgana could be a bit standoffish, but honestly, I didn't mind. For her, this was actually quite sociable, in fact. When I first met her, she didn't act her age at all, but now she was starting to show signs of the 12-year-old girl hidden inside. 3 years prior, when I met Morgana, she had been the victim of unspeakable abuse at the hands of the Lord. Yep, okay, this is after. 3 years, so yeah, this is... So this is very soon before the raid. Because this is 3 years prior, so it's like... Yeah, 7 years ago. And 4 years, yeah. So... somewhere around this time, we're going to have the raid on the brothel. And she's going to be there. I don't know why I had done those things to her. And I didn't ask either, because I knew doing so would only reopen old wounds. Did he? Oh my god. Okay. He doesn't know about the blood here yet. Don't God damn it, JACOPO, I beg of you, just don't be like such a fucking bitch to like imprison her for actually just a profit. I swear, if you learn about the blood and you decide like, oh, I can just get rich, Morgana is not going to be the only one to curse you. All I knew was that the Lord was so far gone as the human being as to brutally torture a 9-year-old girl. At the time, the only thing that ever seemed to come out of her mouth was the word of God. Everything she said or did was ostensibly for the benefit of others. But it felt to me more like she was acting out of some sort of sense of duty rather than the genuine concern. Honorable, but ultimately hollow. I much preferred this Morgana, even if she could be a bit jaded. What are you hoping to get out of repairing my face? I'm not trying to get anything, I just want you to heal up. And here I thought you were going to try and make me work at the brothel. How many times I have to tell you, I'm not going to make you to be a prostitute. What other reasons could you have for wanting my face get better? Okay, so here my fury goes out of the window, actually. About him being like jealous about learning how she actually is in the brother. I mean, actually, I guess, yeah, my mistake from like not remembering what I read before, sorry. Right, he's been one that actually been there as well. Yeah, like even Maria said like he's been visiting or like being there and they were close. The fuck am I thinking? Okay, my bad. Sorry that if you had like frustrations few minutes ago. I'm sorry. Because I want to see it. Isn't that enough? Just so we are clear, that was me hitting on you, okay? The thought never occurred to me. She felt quiet, sitting there motionless as I rubbed ointment into her face. Her skin beneath my thumb was rough and unpleasant to the touch, and honestly, felt the stomach turning. It was hard to imagine her face would ever heal. What I'd said about wanting to see her face was true, but what I wanted more than anything was for her to be able to live a relatively normal life. I hope you are prepared to be let down if I ever do heal. That's possibly just part of the fun. You have so much tact as the worm. No tact and bad taste. I'm the real winner. It's not a wonder. No one throttles you in your sleep. Okay. Being a guy, of course, I would have been pleased if she had turned out pretty with her face killed. But her life was guaranteed to be easier than now, no matter what she looked like. That was what really mattered ultimately. I could only imagine how hard it was to have your life turned completely upside down at the age of 9. A large portion of us in the slums had our share of misfortune, but hardly any of them stacked up to what Morgana had to bear. She had no parents. When I asked about her mother, she got cagey with me, so I assumed she would be sold off. When I'd ask about her father though, she just pointed up to the sky, which I took to mean that he was dead. Yeah, that's not what she means, but... a young girl, no family, sent off all in her own to some strange land, somewhere along the line ending up in the Lord's cruel grasp. Misfortune felt like the understatement, if anything. That said, it wasn't just out of pity that I gave Morgana so much of my attention. The other reason though, well, she would probably go running if I told her. Okay? Hell, I wanted to hit myself over the head. I'll still be your friend, even if you turn out to be the ugliest girl in the city. You should be grateful. How is it you haven't managed to chase off everyone in your life yet? I act like a decent guy around other people. Do my best to fit in. Then why are you such a dolt around me? Just doing my best to fit in. Wow. Okay. Okay. Don't make me like JACOPO. I swear. So you're saying this is my fault? Everyone could use a turn or two. Makes it more exciting. You especially. Okay, that should be everything. Does it sting anywhere? Not particularly, no. Alright. Oh. Also, finish up here and get back to Maria soon. Unless you would rather I drag you there. Why? Seriously? It's your damn birthday, that's why. And? What do you think, Dimwit? She wants to celebrate. Get back there soon, okay? I'm planning to drop by too. Okay? Okay. You can't make me like JACOPO like that. I refuse. What kind of like weird shit happens that like he end up like this? How? That like this awesome guy like turned into like this like abomination. What the hell? She gave a sheepish nod, which was honestly kind of cute, but of course I couldn't say that. So I shrugged my shoulders, feeling exasperation, and then turned to leave. Once I might have offered to accompany her back to the brothel, Morgana never seemed keen on the idea of walking anywhere with me. Maybe she was afraid of the grown man after what happened to her at the Lord's Manor. Or maybe she just didn't want me to be seen with someone who looked like her. So, I thought you were leaving? One day, I will show you the world. I won't get my hopes up. Get your hopes up, damn it! I said with a soft chuckle, and then I took my leave. I had every intention of making good on the promise, and I had more than enough reason to believe I could. Three years back, there was a slave revolt at the Lord's Manor. That's not quite accurate though, because while I was partially responsible for inciting the riot, I wasn't actually a slave. Oh, okay. Interesting. The local lord was spoken of in whispers as the second coming of the great tyrant of old. The people were constantly grumbling about how he seemed to treat the land like his own personal playground, exploiting everything and everyone on his own amusement. When enough stress and resentment builds up in the contained space, all it takes is a little show from the outside to burst. And that was our plan. Me and a number of other dissatisfied citizens gathered together to pop that bubble, give the Lord a taste of how we felt about him. With the help of the slave trader, I infiltrated the Lord's Manor. Oh! So you actually like been a spy, you like became a slave just for this. Okay. I know, slaves weren't treated well, but saying it for myself, I thought most of those people would have been happier, having been born as the dog or cat, and owned by someone who actually had a heart. It was revolting, a fragrant injustice. Broadly speaking, there are two types of people who see injustice in the world. The first are those who have everything, who sit unchallenged at the top of the world, looking down on the less fortunate with pity. The second are those with nothing, who wish to overthrow the entire system, keeping them down. It should come as no surprise that I fell in the second camp. Once I was inside, I went around the manor telling all the slaves about our plan. Most of them had long since lost the will to fight, but with enough help, with enough assurance, there are people on the outside ready and waiting to help. Glimmers of hope started to return to their eyes. Finding out they weren't alone, that they weren't helpless anymore, had an incredible effect on their morale. How JACOPO turned out to be the like shittiest character in the universe. I mean, maybe not, because we have still Amy, okay? We cannot forget that. But holy Jesus, JACOPO. Like, JACOPO from the third door is basically a twisted version that have nothing to do with like real JACOPO. Because this is how Morgana remembers the old lord. Basically, she have no idea who he really is. Still, he still imprisoned her. True. Why? No clue. We will learn. So something shitty happens. But... You just can't... You can't just like Uno reverse me like that on JACOPO. And once the slaves were convinced, the revolt began. It ended up being much larger scale than I had imagined, and many lost their lives in the process, but the majority of them managed to escape. Naturally, the slaves couldn't stay in the city, so I directed them to the people waiting outside, who would take them to another city or the neighboring country. I had neither the money nor the power to guarantee them a good life on the outside, but that hardly mattered to them. Everyone was sure that wherever they ended up would be better than staying, and I prayed that would be the case. It was during the revolt that I saved Morgana. I would have sent her off somewhere else like the other slaves, but she was in so dire condition when I found her that she could hardly even move on her own. She had been sapped of all her willpower. So I brought her to the brothel where a friend of mine worked and asked her to take Morgana in. My companions and I reveled in the revolt's success. It wasn't enough of an accomplishment to have any real political implications, but we still felt like the heroes. Drunk on victory, we started talking about going bigger, starting on a full revolution. Once the elation passed, though, we realized there wasn't much more we could do. Even if we did manage to start a large enough uprising to kill the Lord, we were only peasants. Not only did we know the first thing about the ruling, the other accounts would never acknowledge our authority anyway, and somehow you managed to become a lord. How the fuck did that happen? We would pretend to be in control until the next in line showed up, and that will be the end of that. So we just ended up sitting on our thumbs, no way to do anything about this content. Skip forward to about a month before Morgana's birthday. One day, a middle-aged woman approached me. I had never met her before, but she had a wavy hair that reminded me a great deal of my own. Looking at me straight in the eye, the woman said, "I was once a maidservant for the Barney estate." Okay, one of the slaves. They've done their best to keep it secret, but I had a child with the previous lord. Oh? And this child is JACOPO? He's like non-public child of actual lords? What? And the child is you. What kind of reveal is that? What is happening in this game? And in this backstory? The revelation came completely out of the blue. Like, yeah, like, there was like no build up for this. It's like, yeah, that happened. According to her, I had royal blood, and if we could convince the Lord that, I would become a royalty. Furthermore, she, as my alleged mother, could return to her old life at the manor. The one urged me to take the action, to meet the Lord, reveal my lineage, and reclaim my rightful place as the Borneo house. Also, it's possibility also that she's actually bullshitting him, you know? Just like mother of Morgana bullshitted her about like never been with a man and like she's a daughter of God. So this could be similar situation, like she wants to actually live again at the mansion, basically. So she's just like, yeah, you know what? You go and like be lord. I can actually live in luxury again. I would no longer be a poor peasant or living in the slums. I would have the comfortable life. I obviously wasn't going to agree on the spot. Her story was so bluntly dubious. I needed some time to think on it. If she was telling the truth though, I could transform our revolution from the dream into reality. We wouldn't be restricted to intoxicating, inconsequential uprisings. I could seize power legitimately and make some actual change. So I asked the woman to give me some time to consider. Have you decided what you're going to give her? That was the first thing I heard when I stepped through the back door of the brothel. Maria, a short blonde-haired prostitute and a good friend of mine, flashed me at the village smirk. Yeah, that's when we are supposed to... He was supposed to give her this pendant, right? And for some reason, it's emitting like the dark aura. What happened? Why is this a trigger point? I brought a necklace, as per your suggestion. Girls appreciate that sort of thing, don't they? Most do? Me? I've got a taste for knives and other such pointy things. Yeah, we know. I doubt she has much interest in those though. Sometimes I wonder if you're actually a girl. Anyone could see that Maria and I were close, but our relationship was strictly platonic. Of course, given her line of work, it was unavoidable that people thought otherwise. And honestly, it irritated me. Every time someone suggested we were anything more than friends. People have this annoying, short-sighted tendency to assume that just because a guy and a girl are friendly, they must be intimate. It didn't matter that she was the girl. I only thought of her as a friend, and as best as I could tell, that's all she thought of me as well. Mary and I first met when we were children. Even at the age, she was already a prostitute, myself a petty thief. Also, this whole situation makes now sense why Maria actually didn't wanted to meet with the Lord. Wow. Because they knew each other. We're both incredibly lucky to have survived to adulthood with only ourselves to watch each other backs. It's possibly the only reason either for us maintained the willpower to survive this long was because we had each other to bitch about life, to when things got bad. So is today the day? Are you finally gonna tell her how you feel? Excuse me? Tell her how I what? Don't be coy. You know exactly what, and it's about time you manned up and told her. I think you've got a better chance than you think. Do I need to remind you how old she is? 12 as of today? Practically an adult. I was knee-deep in dick at that age. Wow. Wow. Maria! Jesus! You're comparing her to you. The longer you hold off saying something, the more difficult it becomes. Break a leg. Party's gonna be in the back, so there won't be any customers around to interfere. Alright. I chewed over what Maria had said as I watched her disappear down the brothel corridor. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't overanalyzing. I did indeed have a special feelings for Morgana. The woman seems to have this strange, somewhat terrifying ability to read people's minds. And Maria was a prime example of that. I had never once so much as suggested to anyone I might think or anything of Morgana, but Maria had somehow managed to pick up on it almost immediately. Fortunately, she didn't seem particularly bothered by the fact. Though if anyone else would find out, I could only imagine the looks I would get. I mean, Morgana was 12, and I was 22. Holy Jesus! I felt like he was like, I don't know, maybe 17 or something, but yeah, I guess like now I think about this, he became a slave by making like some arrangements and stuff. Yeah, he's been like total like adult guy, so yeah. That wasn't normal. I've never felt this way about anyone else that young either. Any other girls Morgana's age just looked like another kid to me. So why was she any different? She was covered in scars, and every other time we met, she would tell me to go to hell, and she refused to walk anywhere with me. And no matter how much ice I broke, I could never seem to get all the way through. Yet still, the world felt like it was just a little bit a place when I was with her. It made me want to see her smile, no matter how grotesque her face. How would I even go about saying it, assuming I actually did? Even if your face still isn't healed in 4 years, I'll take you as my lifetime partner, Morgana. God, no, that's terrible. There has to be a better way to put it. Now I was getting stressed out. It was all thanks to Maria. This was supposed to be a day of celebration, not to fretting over stupid personal matters. Not long after, I arrived at the brothel and made my way to the back room. Maria and a handful of other occupied girls showed up. Unoccupied girls showed up. Morgana, who was supposed to be the guest of honor, was even more reticent than usual. So he never told her actually that, probably, right? Like, attack is going to happen like anytime now, I think, right? I think like it happened during her birthday, if I remember correctly. The prostitutes chatted among themselves about work and unabashedly graphic detail, trading info on which customers were good and which customers were bad. All the while Morgana looking incredibly uncomfortable. You guys think you could maybe change the subject? Like, we have nothing else to talk about? Making the birthday girl want to hide in the corner defeats the whole purpose, don't you think? Oh no, don't mind me. I don't have anything I want to talk about. Morgana said almost in a whisper, her head downturned. At least eat something then. The cookies are barely sweetened and dry as the rocks, but they are edible. JACOPO, you little bitch. You've got some stones to shit-talk my cookies to my face. Stop it, Maria. Stop throwing things at me. Nice. The other girls crackled as Maria and I bickered. Hoping it might have elicited a reaction from Morgana as well, I snuck a glance over at her, but she remained expressionless. You are right about one thing though. This is Morgana's day. So let's change the subject. Maria said with a little laugh, having hurled over everything within arm's reach to me. Like I said, I don't have anything to talk about. Sure you do. You just have to look a little harder. Not saying you have to reminiscence for us. It can be anything. Let's see. Here's an idea. Are there any guys you got your eyes on? I spilled my tea all over the table. There is. Oh. Oh. And then I start choking. What? Seriously? Holy shit. Who is it? Tell me. Who's the lucky guy? God. Oh. Okay. Everyone felt silent. Mara gave me a sympathetic look, and I knew exactly what she wanted to say. Sorry, kid. You ain't got nothing on God. Asshole. If you're gonna dream big, right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I think after all, the powerful, all-knowing God, I'm with you. You bald-faced liar. The grass may be hell of a lot greener up there, but it's a bit far, don't you think? You're better off settling for the weeds down here. Did you just imply that I'm a weed? Pretty much, yeah. Maria looked over and gave me the white and green, the sight of grinding my teeth, then continued. Say the young man over. Wait, stop right there. Don't say another word. You're upset in my big mouth. I almost did your job for you. God damn it, Maria. This was no good. Like hell I was going to let her corner me into saying it here. I slowly glanced at Morgana, but her gaze was locked on her knees. I couldn't see what, if any, kind of reaction she was having. Morgana, what she was trying to say is that I have to go. What? I have to go to the bathroom. Sure. Morgana got up from her chair and left the room in silence. I imagine I was making a rather flaccid expression, because as soon as Morgana was gone, Maria began crackling like the mad woman. My reply was the nearest object, courtesy of my throwing arm. Loser, how hard is it to say it? It would have been easier if you hadn't cornered me like that. You think I believe you wouldn't have done it? You would have done it without a little nudge? I would have. Eventually. Wow. Eventually ain't gonna cut it. Now is the right time. Don't worry. Me and the other guys will make fun of you for getting your rocks off to little girls. That's not the reason I like her. Because besides, I would wait at least 4 years before. Doesn't mean you can't tell her now. I think it would do her wonders, really. Yeah, it's like, it would probably give her some kind of hope. I mean, they don't know that she still thinks of herself as a saintness and stuff, so she won't accept any, like, kind of like love confession, basically. But if she would, then that would make her life actually easier if you think about this, because she would actually have someone in her life to like that actually cares about her, because everyone else in her life so far, every like human basically in her life was like betraying her one per one and being cruel to her. So yeah, that could like made wonders for her. She's a, well, you know. So I think knowing someone cares about her, her will lighten her load a bit, yeah. When she comes back, give her the necklace and tell her how we feel. And if she turns you down, we can all have a good laugh about it. Maria and a few girls chuckled. And as uncomfortable as she was making me feel, she had a point. Regardless of whether Morgana reciprocated my feeling or not, there was a good chance that just putting them out there would help in breaking down the walls she had built in her heart. And maybe one day, I would actually be able to see her smile. I will do it. I will tell her. It didn't matter if I came out looking like a loser. It didn't matter if Morgana wasn't interested in me like that way. What mattered was that she knew someone accepted her, regardless of her appearance or the things she had been through. That's not the JACOPO I know! What the fuck, game? And if by some chance there really was royal blood flowing through my veins, then I could make good on my promise to show her the world. I could put an end to her life of poverty and abuse, replace it with one of comfort and wealth. I could buy her even better medicine, something that could actually heal her face. If I truly were royalty, I could do so much more for her. Makes it sound like I want to be some kind of fairy tale hero or something. But honestly, I wouldn't have minded that. If I was going to make her happy, to wipe away all her past misfortune, why couldn't I make it a little dramatic? It wasn't usually my style, but in this case, I wouldn't have objected to the storybook ending. Okay. This though, no, this wasn't the kind of story I was hoping for. Jesus! And the attack happens. You know what? I think I will leave the attack for later. We just had a glimpse of JACOPO, like beginnings of like his meeting with Morgana, how he was before, and something in this attack changed him. But what changed him? We're going to see in the next episode. Thank you everyone for being with me. I will see you in the next one. Like, it's not JACOPO, I know. Why? Like, this game just like made me dirty. Holy Jesus. How? Why? Like, that's not JACOPO. I know. Why JACOPO is like actually trying to help her? Like, how did that happen? Well, we'll see what happens to his like personality and stuff in the next episode. Why he decided to look her up and stuff. Well, yeah. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Leave up a like if you like the episode. Subscribe for more. Check my Discord. and become a member if you would like to support me and see these episodes even earlier. Thank you once again, and for now Pocket Watch is going out.